Welcome back to day number 2 of the Mlbb Iesf American Qualifiers. Today we've got a classic South American showdown. Bolivia versus Brazil. Both squads are hungry to prove themselves, and with every single game bringing us closer to the World Esports stage, expect nothing less than fireworks inside the land of Dawn, folks. Of course, joining you today, myself, Kronos, alongside me, the one and only Gani, to bring you that exciting action. How are you doing, Gani, today?
Hey, Kronos, thank you for the opening. I am feeling excited. I'm feeling good. You know, after seeing 3 matches yesterday, I'm so ready for 2 more matches that we will give and present to you all too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited as well, man. The way that things were yesterday with Bolivia, I don't know. It's just one of those teams that, you know, can flip the script at any moment. They say that, hey, you got a script, you know what, we got something better. And they showed up yesterday, but of course today is a different day, and I think they have to come in with a similar mindset, maybe not have the early game jitters, right, while going into it.
That's the thing. It's going to be very exciting to see Bolivia and Brazil going at each other, because yesterday, I believe, both teams got the dub, right? Bolivia, they managed to beat Argentina, and Brazil, they managed to beat Argentina as well. So both winners, technically, from yesterday's match will be going at each other. And man, seeing their performance, I can't really choose a side. I think both teams are on the same level after yesterday's performance, and that is going to be very exciting. But hey, this is the groups.
Yeah, it is indeed. Once again, folks, if you're just joining us right now for the American Qualifiers in the IESF stage, you got to know there are 3: Americas AA, Americas AB, and Americas B. 3 different groups, of course, and you can see the respective countries present as well. And today we're going to be covering Bolivia versus Brazil for the first match of the day. And of course, later on, we will have another match coming to you. But then, you know what? We'll talk about that a little later. For now, you got to make sure you brace yourself for this one, because this is about to be one heck of a cracker. Because if you ask me which game I'm going to be watching for, it's definitely the first one of the night. But not like second one's not going to be amazing. But at the same time, like Gani mentioned, that both these teams are coming up out of wins yesterday. So it's just going to show that they definitely are hungry to get what they want. And at the same time, as you can see, the schedule, the next game will be Colombia versus Suriname. And I think that will be an exciting one as well, Gani.
Definitely, you don't want to miss that one too. But hey, more on that later. All right, let's shift our focus to Bolivia and Brazil. You know, Bolivia just, it was unexpected seeing their performance. You weren't there, you weren't there to cast, Kronos, but Bolivia just displayed a great Mlbb yesterday. Now, I'm excited to see, will they bring the same quality? Will they bring the same depth to Brazil? Again, it's going to be a tough opponent, but this is why I can't wait for the first match, to be quite honest, Kronos.
You know what? We can talk about Bolivia. I was there for the Bolivia game yesterday, if I'm not wrong. The one with K-Boom and all that, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You were there for the Brazil one. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
But
my
hey,
bad, G.
talking about Bolivia, right? We've seen them do a lot in the works yesterday. You know, familiar names: WL, Just Nico, John Storm, K-Boom, and of course you have just Barney as well. I mean, these guys keep changing their IGN every single time, but we know K-Boom along with John Storm are trying to bring in the heat, the EXP Rome synergy that they have going when it comes to stacking up that CC alongside WL. But then again, you have Brazil. Hey, these guys just want to samba the entire time, right, if you ask me. And of course, who better than the 5, the GOATs of Brazil, Luis, Frostlanave, Upatizi. Of course, you got Buzizio and Black And hey, do you know what, Gani? Do you know? I think Vay would have told you all about Upatizi. Did I tell you anything about Upatizi?
Unfortunately, we haven't had the privilege to talk about Upatizi. So, what's going on here, Darno?
He's one of the top goal laners
Sure.
from the country of Brazil, of course. I think you've seen him as well in the world stages, probably. And along with that, of course, you have Luis. This is, I think, the
Yes.
most decorated player, arguably the most decorated player coming out from Brazil. He has
Yeah.
won pretty much every single trophy there is when it comes to different competitions in their respective countries and their leagues, and also has represented the country along with the teams that they play for in the world stage, that as we know it. I think Brazil, star-studded lineup. We all know what they're going to bring to the table. It's
Yeah.
expected for them to get a win, but then again, expectations can start getting heavy against an underdog like Bolivia.
You can't really count Bolivia out just yet, especially after yesterday's performance. It took them the full series to get the dub, but hey, a win is a win. It was long and fought hard technically, but yeah, I think K Boom and all and them, they deserve that win. And my question is, what's going on, Argentina? I think you gotta really step up your A game. You gotta bring your A game here. But hey, yesterday is already in the past. Let's focus now. Bolivia versus Brazil. You mentioned the names, you mentioned the rosters. Do you expect, perhaps here, I gotta ask you, being more familiar, any cheese picks, or, yeah, just cheese picks, but something peculiar perhaps that we can see today?
I mean, so far, I'm not really sure if we're probably going to get any cheese picks coming in today, just because of the fact that they're probably trying to still figure out what gets in the meta. I think, the league starts tomorrow in Latam. So I don't think they're really looking at probably showing their cards a bit too early as well, right, Gani? And I think that might be something that Bolivia can lean in towards. But at the same time, it's like if you've got the basics down, right? If you've got the basics locked down, if you know how rotation works, if you know what to do in the game, and you've been playing at the highest of highest stages and at like highest levels of Mlbb, then I don't think they're really gonna have a problem. But then again, I want to see Upatizi rock that Bruno or that Granger, man. Like, Bruno is a pick that he is really good for and he's known about as well. And Luis, the same thing with his Cho. So these are two picks that I might want to see.
Perhaps we get to see that later. But hey, up next, we mentioned it already. It's going to be Bolivia taking Brazil. Yeah, I do understand that perhaps you can't really expect a lot of cheese picks coming through, but this is going to be the team roster for Bolivia. WL, just Nico, John Storm, K-Boom, and we got just Barney. We get to see them in action live yesterday. Again, you mentioned the synergy between John Storm and K-Boom. Hopefully we get to see that sort of playmaking, that sort of, yeah, just, I think they're both playmakers, and perhaps that is the identity of Bolivia, relying on engages from John Storm or K-Boom.
Yeah, K-Boom has been slight bit of a difference maker, right? K-Boom has been quite aggressive along with John Storm as well. But then again, they're going against a star-studded lineup. It is the Samba Boys, Brazil, and we know them already. Luis, Froslanave, Upatizi, Buziccio, and Black. And these guys are no strangers to the big stage. And of course, representing their country, Brazil. And again, these guys are absolutely, they're absolutely wonderful humans. And I think they definitely know what happens in the game as well. But again, what do you know about Brazil, my friend? You know what? Of course, we know what they're famous for. They're famous for their football.
Their football, the samba. You gotta put that in Brazil as well. And I believe they have a famous speech, but I can't really. I'm drawing a blank here. Their famous speech. Ah,
Is it in Rio? Isn't there like isn't there the festival that happens in Rio every year? Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
yeah. There, that
the parade.
festival, man. I think that festival is absolutely insane.
You ever
You know,
been
the
there?
culture. No.
Uh,
If I do though, you will know. I'm not gonna stop raving about it. But
Fair
Brazil
enough.
has been one of the countries that's definitely on my bucket list, and I think definitely for you as well. Who wouldn't want to go to the birthplace of, you know, the talent, the samba, the way that people move and groove in and around there? And I think the culture that they bring in, along with a lot of amazing humans, and again, same thing with Bolivia as well.
Yeah.
And also, let's not forget, absolute juggernauts and enthusiasts of MLBB at the end of the day.
Very. I think it's one of the highest growing MLBB scene, right? The scene for
Yep.
MLBB there, I think it's very, very high. If we're talking about South America, and I think now both, right? NA and South America. So yeah, Brazil,
Hmm.
keep doing what you're doing. You know, keep digging, keep grinding, and hey, hopefully we get to see more South American teams be in the international stage. Ooh, fancy.
Showing some moves, man. Trying the samba later on to ask the boys is like, hey, did they find my moves good? You never know. But then again, I think the moves outside the game might be different for the moves inside the game, though. Bolivia definitely not going to be any pushover. They have a lot to work with. And I think the way that they've been going about the game as well, the aggression that they bring into the early game, right? We know for a fact they're going to bring in that early game aggression. We saw that yesterday with the Joy. We saw that with the Arlot, the Khalid. They're trying to play as aggressive as they can. And they kind of don't want to, they didn't go for an insurance policy in that game, right? Like we call it, like a pivot, where if they lose out of the mid game, the early game phase, they're not able to pivot, especially going against the 1-1 and picking up the Bruno in their goal lane. So I feel like that might be something they thought about, and then the next two games they brought a different game plan. So hopefully today they come with a similar mindset of trying to take the game 2-0,
Yeah.
or at least as quickly as possible. Because I mean, no matter how you look at it, Gani, on paper, we know Brazil is like, at least you can't match them at this point. Like on paper, they definitely are the better team.
Again, yes, they are the stronger team on paper. You know, sometimes, you know, there's just there's still hope for Bolivia, especially after seeing them dig yesterday. So yeah, let's see. Maybe it's not sometimes this stronger team on paper. Maybe you got them in the right day. You know, it's not really their day, and maybe that day is the day for Brazil. Not hoping something bad to happen, but let's see. MLBB wise, I love. You mentioned it yesterday. You love to see an underdog story, and perhaps this might be the case as well. But hey, Brazil, if you keep your discipline, if you stay sharp, I do believe that you have the matches in your favor because yeah, you have more experience, right? You've been to some of you been to the international stage, and some of you has you're basically veterans there. You're basically veterans. So bring that A game, keep sharp, just stay disciplined. You know what you're doing. You know, even after this big patch, I'm sure you guys are already adapted. So you know what, Chronos. I ask you too. I do want to ask you though, what's your favorite jungler position right now in the current patch?
What do you mean by jungler position?
Like,
You gotta.
do you? Okay, I think jungler position. I think let's say you know, I think Lancelot is the strongest. Okay, it's like that. I think. Right
Oh,
now,
okay. What's the strongest jungler? Okay, okay.
sorry, strongest
I
jungler.
think, like jungler position wise. Okay, I get what you're saying. I think definitely Isun Boxia, and then Lancelot. I feel like it's gotta be that three. What are you thinking?
I think. This is no. You got me there. I did not expect you to ask me
Your
back,
boy.
but but yeah, I think Baxia is definitely up there. More so because of the flexibility, right?
Yeah.
It can throw your opponent like, hey, just throw your opponent a curveball, basically. And with that, Baxia, I think, is the second. No, I think the first. Is it the first? I think it's the second. I like the Baxia second. The first one is it Yisun Shin. The strongest in this current patch, man.
I mean,
Gotta
I say
go
that.
Yisun Shin.
I mean, I say Easton Chin. I have a personal bias, right? I love the way Easton Chin works. I think yesterday we saw, I was euphoric after looking at that 1-2 that he had going with the zoomed in
Yeah.
view. But then at the same time, it's more of a team player, Easton Chin, right? You're not really relying on your individual. You're not a Kyrie. You're not a Carl TZ, right? You're not a
Yeah.
King Kong. You're not gonna you're not gonna be coming in and trying to showcase what you can do with the individual skills. Of course, you're trying to do that, but then you're really
Yeah.
relying on individual skill. But then Yi Sun Shin works around the team, and I think speaking of team, hey, both the teams ready for the draft. They're already up. Fovius being banned out by Bolivia on the blue side. Brazil looking to respond. Hey, they just want to take out what they don't want to deal with.
Seems like the 1-1 will be that hero, and yeah, 1-1 is an annoying hero. Especially with the immune skill that the 1-1 has. It can definitely the outplay potential on this 1-1 is high, is definitely high. Bolivia taking their time here on that second ban. Are they going to ban the Angela, or are they looking for the Angela, or will they EXP here? So trying to limit Black's hero.
Yeah, I think definitely the CC and the Fovius, I think not just trying to limit Black's hero, but also at the same time trying to give John Storm the benefit of the doubt, right? We know John Storm's a playmaker for us, but at the same time, we want to make sure he's having an easier lane. So take away some of the things that Black will be a problem with, not just in the laning phase, but also in the team fight, so that the space is created for WL and Galito. So I think they're just trying to give John Storm the upper hand. They're trying to play into the EXP lane.
Maybe that's going to be the case, because if you're talking about EXP, there's still an Arlet, Yeah, I think the Arlet is definitely going to be contested here in the first phase. The Baxia, though, will be banned out here, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Brazil, they're a little bit more, there's more variety, right, with the Baxia and the 1-1 ban here, not just one lane. And Bolivia, seeing this, right, with the Baxia ban, does this allow the Angela pick coming through from the side of Bolivia?
I think here Brazil probably gonna roll the dice, right? Leave Angela as well as Arlot open. You want the Angela, we'll take the Arlot along with something else. Maybe a Granger, maybe an Irto, maybe the Eastern Shin, the Lancelot. These all are open and up for grabs as well. So I think they definitely, if I was them, I'd probably be willing to roll the dice here. Not ban on both the junglers. Let the Arlot open, let the Angela open. Yeah. Maybe take out something else, maybe a Granger. Oh no, too risky, man. The best jungler for a reason.
Right, you mentioned Yisun Shin, Baxia, and then Lancelot. They banned the top two, and Bolivia will pick the top three. I think that there you go. Shout out Kronos, but Bolivia, what they're saying is, Angela, we're not afraid. Arlet, we're not afraid. And Brazil, they will take the far side here, despite the Lancelot is already picked. Yuji is going to rely on his mechanics to juke the skills of Lancelot, but it is actually a different approach here. Brazil, they're saying, no, we don't want to prioritize the Arlet. We're taking the Uranus.
Guided by Lantern's light.
I'm not sure if I'm following what Brazil are trying to go for. I think it's probably going to go all-out damage, right? Just overwhelm them with the damage. You can see Arlot, Jushin, Lancelot, Bolivia have a star-studded. If you ask me, the first phase of the draft so far, they've already won. Brazil probably looking to lock down a jungler here after picking up the Uranus. So maybe go for the Joy, because that's the only kind of thing that's left here open in a way. But then again, it leaves your team so vulnerable, right? You lack crowd control already. 3 heroes, no crowd control, looking for trouble.
It is a little bit tricky here for side of Brazil, right? You mentioned the crowd control. Is it possible like a Guinevere jungler appear? Is that like I'm sure they are able to, I'm sure they're capable, you know, keep that in mind as well. And this is it, the last pick before the second phase. It will be the Angela. So yeah, not a sure crowd control, but there's a slow in it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of forgot that the Angela even existed right at this point, because I think the Angela was one of the heroes that we expected to be picked up, but I didn't think it'd come through so late in the first phase, let alone almost slip through into the second. But I think right now you can see the sustain game on the side of Brazil is high, of course, but at the same time, similar with Bolivia, right? You have the beacon with the Jushin, and you have Arlott with the Vengeance. He's definitely gonna go in and try and get that spell vamp and get that HP back up. A lot more aggressive Bolivia, but Brazil still a bit passive aggressive, I would say, right? So far with the Angela, Uranus, and the Farsa. So maybe with they're looking to see what they can go in the gold lane. I'm probably thinking I don't think it's gonna be a Grange. It's gotta be a Moskov, right? You need some sort of crowd control to try and lock down this Lancelot.
I like the Moskov pick, right? Will they be able to sniff it though? But it seems like their focus here is just choking the jungler position, right? Yusun Shin Baksha, Fredrin is off the board. They picked up the Lancelot. Why not double down, you know, ban the Joy and then ask a big question towards Brazil? Yeah, what is there left for that jungler position? But you know, I think there is a lot. Are they comfortable though? That's my big question. Using say export jungler, Guinevere jungler, let's see, or even Alpha is still a viable option. Now you have the Angela.
I mean, yes, the Alpha is a viable option. We saw that yesterday itself, coming in from Bolivia, if I'm not wrong, right? The Alpha against the Baxia in the jungle for Argentina.
Yeah.
And then again, this looks like a draft that Bolivia did in the first game of yesterday. Ooh. They had the Jushin, they had the Arlott, they also went with the Khalid. And the Bruna I wanted to see gets banned out, man. But I think they probably might go for the Khalid again, and this time they have much more of an, you know, they like the invasive strategy, but they have a hero that really has a lot of base damage right from the get-go. The Lancelot, right? The Thorn Rose level 1, level 2 with those punctures definitely hurt. So Brazil really need to find something in an early game to try and match that pace. Otherwise, they might just be inviting a lot of pressure to their side. So this is a make it or break it pick for them.
Definitely, they're taking their time as well, right? Brazil. I think they are just going for a gold laner pick here, you know. Save the jungler last. Oh, what?
Oh, nasty.
Whoa.
That.
Without
That sounds nasty.
Wow, I did not expect this. Esmeralda Uranus, it's what, 2.5 years ago kind of deal, right? Man. You get the 2 fighters. No?
Older than that. Well, 2.5 years is too less. This is like
4.
M1 kind of days where you had Esmeralda in the jungle, right? That's a long time coming. And I think you can see the instant response as well from Bolivia. They go for a tank shredder, knowing that there's a lot of HP on the other side. They need someone to melt them down. I think who better than true damage carry herself?
They're taking a risk though with this pick. There's a Farsa. There's a Farsa in the opponent's side. You know, range is definitely lacking from that carry. So Bolivia is like, hey, let's go. Let's risk it. You know, go big or go home. And to somehow relieve off pressure from that Farsa, they added themselves the Gatot Kacha that can, you know, deflect the Feather Airstrike at will. So yeah, great solid response from side of Bolivia.
Yeah, I think Bolivia's lineup really looks like they're ready and they want it all, right? That Gatot Kacha to try and cancel out that feathered airstrike. Arlot to try and create the plays. You have the carry to shred them down. The Jushin to provide the support. Lancelot to finish them off. You can see the game plan coming from Bolivia, but Brazil here, I mean, we kind of predicted the Moscow a long time ago, and we knew that they need that crowd control. But then speaking of crowd control, do they really have any? At this point, right? Do they the Spear of Misery, Puppet on a String, and what, the Falling Star Moon? That really, those aren't really hard lockdowns. So Nico on this Lancelot might just have himself a field day.
Definitely more tricky to stun the opponents here. Yeah, the feather airstrike that the Farsa can stun, but then again, it's not a sure lockdown. It's not like the Gatot Kacha with AoE. It's not like the final slash, definitely. And mind you, there's a knockup from Zushin that is annoying if you're around Zushin getting flared on. So hey guys, those are the 10 heroes that will be deployed to the Land of Dawn for our opening game. It's Bolivia taking on Brazil.
Yeah, I think already in game number 1, this Lancelot is going to be putting in a lot of work. Wait a second. Is this a Uranus in the jungle?
It's Uranus in the jungler, Sean. So is Esmeralda EXP?
I thought it's going to be Esmeralda in the jungle and Uranus in the EXP, but they switched it up. This Uranus in the jungle has worked wonders for a long time in the previous season as well. And you can see with the emblems that they're running, definitely that tank emblem and also those tenacities coming through from both the EXP laners to try and see if they can do anything. But Angela here, though, running that mystery shop, just trying to get that earlier power spike.
Just, you know, nose throw, won't clear. Oh, there might be an exchange here in the mid lane. That's a great taunt. No wings by wings. Forced to use that flicker, but WL finds the flicker to take the first blood. UG goes down.
Yeah, I think 1 for 1 as well. Yes, they got themselves the first blood, but they gave one in return. Still, first blood does give you a little bit of extra gold, so they are up on that front. But I think Brazil, with the lineup that they have, with the experience that they have, they're just going to shrug it off and know what they're going to do next. And that's why you can see on the top side is what they're aiming for. Same mirror coming on the bottom as well from Bolivia. But I feel like Brazil here just applying the pressure onto John Storm in the mid lane, though.
Force the mid and the roam now to use their flickers. So that's a great info. Turtle Cam is up, and seems like John Storm trying to open things up here, giving information and damage. Half HP on the Uranus.
Yeah, I think this Uranus, but I mean, really, half HP, does that really kind of make a difference? Let's be honest.
True, early game as well. But hey, it seems like they are on the turtle. That's gonna be the taunt from K-Boom. That's a Falling Star Moon. That's a combo. WL though, trying to do damage at the back. That's gonna be John Storm and Nico dealing the damage that Bolivia needs. 2 members down and out. And now let's see the first turtle. It's going to be a standoff here. Black trying to provide damage. Flickers out of danger. Sean jumps in, so they want to fight. Nico in a very, very tough position here, quite low, but is able to recall. They will take the delay, and this is the timing that the Brazilian wants. They want to take the turtle.
Sheesh, man, all of that, and you can see again, Yuji trying to shut damage. John Storm.
Very low. Still able to get out, though. That's a taunt. Yuji, wings by wings. Oh, the turtle is not touched now. I guess they're taking their time here in taking that neutral objective.
Yeah, they're definitely taking their time, right? It's all about marinating that meat before you can grill it, make the soup out of that turtle. That's what they want, but Brazil have control over that in the pit, and now you can see Nico going in.
Oh, Nico finds the steal. That's K-Boom canceling the feather airstrike. Oh, revitalized pop. K-Boom kind of isolated here. That's going to be Nico trying to provide cover. Immobilization there towards K-Boom, but is able to get out. No casualty from that big fight.
Yeah, no casualties, just HPs traded, spells traded as well. But I think the costly one being Yuji's Flicker. And I think even in the midst of that fight, you could see the Feathered Airstrike was popped. K-Boom just took 1 second, a little too late to dish out that AOG, which gave enough time for Yuji to try and flicker out of harm's way. Otherwise, that would have been disastrous. But here on the bot side, Upatizi is going to be the target.
That's going to be the hard guard connecting. Yuji finds the connection to take Galilito down. Wow, that's a great tempo that the Brazil made there in the bottom side.
Yeah, I think on the bottom side, of the top side as well, Black is able to dominate the map, and Bolivia 2K head and gold the entire time. Yes, they're on par in terms of kills, but that retribution steal in the turtle pit from Nico just worked wonders, and they're able to try and rack up the gold from there. But here, Xian.
Face check here in the mid bush. That's a knock-up. Oh, the damage is enough to take the Uranus down. And that's going to be the AOG. A little bit too premature here. Feather Airstrike will land immediately. Revitalize actually triggered, but Black will be caught. K-Boom will be the trade here in the mid lane. So it's actually favors Bolivia.
Again, small skirmishes. Bolivia coming out on top, and there they preemptively used not just the AOG but also the final flash from John Storm. Came in with a flicker nonetheless, and I think that kind of gave position to Brazil to move out. And then again, even in the fight, they had the opportunity to go back in, but just didn't work out. They still came out on the losing side.
Oh no, oh no, that's a SOD and the hard guard spend, and that will be Bolivia saying, hey, we are a man up top lane. Turtle is free. And it's gonna be the second neutral objective for the side of Bolivia.
Yeah, that's another one in their pocket. 2 turtle soups, marinated, grilled, sliced. Up next is the third one, and I think that's something that Brazil definitely would want to contest to make sure they have the upper hand moving into the mid to late game phase. But here, Nico.
Great steal. No purple for the Uranus. Nico finds the Grand Theft Purple. Oh, Feather Airstrike. Early. Again, now Nico will be okay. Take a look at John Storm here. Looking for the flanks. WL, though. Oh, that's the AOG. Final slash onto its Uranus. That's a stun. A big one. That's going to be John Storm securing the kill. Black flickers out of danger, but the damage will still come through as John Storm picks up the double.
It definitely does. On the bot side, Upatizi might be going down as well.
Under the turret. That's nasty. We might see an outplay. Upatizi survives. And that will be Bolivia failing to assassinate the marksman.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Galito just able to take away the mid lane tier 1. Bolivia winning on all fronts. The bot side fights in the turtle pit, nearby in the river, and also taking away the mid tier 1. So they're really pushing Brazil to the limit. But then again, after a while, after a couple of items, as we can see, that's when Brazil will start racking it up, right? Farsa just built a glowing wand. You have the Esmeralda with the enchanted talisman going in towards the dominance ice. Again, Xion going into the anti-cuirass after building these first items. That's when they're going to be towards that unkillable phase. But then again, Galito has been farming up pretty nicely, able to get a lot of gold. And now in the river as well, they are looking to get this turtle. OSOD connected, but I don't think he wants to pick that fight. But now, feels like the bot side is where they want to go.
Yeah, it seems like they are rotating towards that side here. That mid tier 1 is so expensive. And Galilito, props to him, man. Props to the call, you know, a lot. Oh, top lane, hard guard, Upatizi 1v1, 2v1 technically, and Nico is still able to puncture to safety. And I'm sure, will he be greedy and try to find the clear? He will. Looking for the damage as well, but seems like the damage for Nico will not be enough. Brazil finds another kill on the board, and they will take that structure. It will be traded, though, with the bottom side.
Yeah, I think the trade definitely working out this time for Brazil. But here again on the top side, K-Boom.
Oh, they got the structure. Falling Star Moon, revitalized from K-Boom. WL is dealing damage. Oh, in the back, John Storm finds a two-man final slash hard guard. In response, Galilito will find the connection. He's free hitting. Sean taking down Yuji, stunned up. That's the double. Looking for the possible triple kill, but Upatizi is able to keep his distance. Black flickering out. That's going to be Black almost taken down in the top lane, though. That's Kozlo trying to survive. Oh, Black still juking, but Nico finds the kill. That's a wipeout from Bolivia.
Not looking good for Brazil. That wipeout from Bolivia definitely showing that there are no pushovers. This is not a time for Brazil to experiment. And Bolivia showing that, hey, you can't disrespect us in the game. We love the game as much as you do. And we practice it in and day out. And you can see that coming through as well. Nico flexing this Lancelot with those punctures, trying to go under the turret. And you can see again, now with the Lord coming up in about 3 seconds, they definitely are the aggressors. They have control of the river. They have control of bottom half of the map and the top half as well at the same time. And I think but Brazil do not want to give this away for free.
They don't. They're trying to find angles here. But hey, Bolivia is playing it smart here. They're taking their time. They know that they have the advantage. And yeah, why rush?
Yeah, they definitely shouldn't rush this one. Bolivia, they have the upper hand. They're about 6K ahead and goal, but oh, final flash.
On towards two. That's going to be Kozlo and Upatizi off the board. It's a 5v3. Should be a free Lord. Let's see, though. Will they find counterplays? Seems like Bolivia, they're keeping it tidy here. Uh-oh, Sean. Oh, misses there. Missed from John Storm. But that's going to be the Lord taken down. Oh, the damage will be enough for now. That's a two-man final slash from John Storm. Black will be next. And that's going to be Bolivia taking, again, two members off the board. And now they have tempo in that mid lane. Nico almost finds a kill. That's going to be Upatizi forced to use that flicker. The mid tier, though, will fall. The inhibitor in the bottom side, though, will again be triggered.
I mean, even Yuji's position there with a feathered airstrike, trying to zone him out, not working out, but here might be an end angle.
Definitely, man. They're looking for the end angle. That's going to be a knockup, ladies and gentlemen. With the first Lord, Galilito locks onto towards the base, and game one is secured in just under 12 minutes. Well done, Bolivia.
Bolivia, Bolivia, Bolivia. The winners they are in the first game of this best of three. Absolute aggression coming in from their side. And we've spoke about this in the draft phase as well. They are the aggressive lineup. They like to play early game, and that's what they did. They had the early game, got themselves that first blood. Yes, they traded it back, but then after that, it was no coming back. For a first few minutes, it was 1-for-1, but they kept winning these neutral objectives, which gave them the advantage moving on into the mid game. And then again, the same thing translated into the late game as well. And by the time Brazil were able to rely on Upatizi, it was too little too late, just because of how well Galilito had farmed up. And here in the mid game as well, John Storm as aggressive as possible, not giving any room for Brazil to breathe. And this is where they expected an Upatizi miracle coming in from the side of Brazil. But then again, if you don't give him the farm, if he's not able to stay on par with the rest of the opposition, you know it's going to be a one-sided story. And that's what it ended up being, with Brazil getting wiped out in less than 10 minutes. That just speaks wonders for the way Bolivia played. And then again, it just after that, it was just an utter domination. They were just forcing the equation, pressing where it hurts for Brazil in every single team fight, not letting them breathe whatsoever. Because you know, if you give a team like Brazil some space, they definitely will take that away and turn it into their advantage. And later on, in towards the end of the game, with almost an 8K goal lead, they come out on top.
Man, Kronos, It's beautiful, you know. I think that wipeout really cost him the game, Brazil, and that really won the game from Bolivia. And after that point, you know, Bolivia was, I think their formation was just beautiful. You know, John Storm always looking for a possible flank with the engage, try to zone maybe a two, if lucky, three members from the side of Brazil, and that really caused trouble or caused problems from the side of Brazil.
Definitely did. I think it's just the draft, the way that they played, and the way that they trying to make everything work. Again, early game. Gatot Kacha was the pick from K-Boom this time. Usually, we see them go down the route of picking up, you know, the Khalid is what we saw. I mean, I was expecting the Khalid, but the way that he played the Gatot Kacha, man, not letting Yuji breathe whatsoever the entire game. They got a landslide. You got an Arla. And the Arla as well. He wasn't afraid to flicker Final Slash, right? Usually, you see some EXP laners like, okay, I mean, yes, even if there's one I like to make sure it's right. John Storm, for throughout the entirety of the game, like, it didn't seem like he got many of the opposition. But the fact that he wasn't afraid to use it probably sent a mental note into Brazilian players like, hey, this guy is crazy. He can use that Final Slash at any given point. Doesn't matter what position he's in. We better be careful. And yes, they should have been, because those Final Slashes in towards the end game was a little, you know, just closed the gap down. And then we spoke about the range that Galito had. Who needs the range when they're just bringing the kills to you, man? Like, they just swept them right in front of him. So he just started, and then just got taken down.
Man, it was a beautiful first game, and let's see, you know, it's not over for Brazil just yet, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a best of three, so let's see what will happen in game two. Will it be a 2-0 for Bolivia, or perhaps Brazil might force a game three? We'll be right back in 5. Hey, it is 1-0 for Bolivia. And it's me, Gani, and Mr. Arman is here to cast the next, not just games, the series as well. But hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the qualifiers of Latin America, to be exact. Iesf, baby.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. That's how we break it down, folks, from the legendary Gani himself. But of course, I think game number 1, Brazil. Hey, you guys got to wake up, man. Hopefully they took that break, washed their faces, splashed it with water, and then they're just like, okay, no more trolling. We got to make sure we come up with the dub, because the expectations definitely is high when you are one of the top players in the Latin American region. But again, on the other side, Bolivia just proving that they're no pushovers. They are not to be messed with. They are not some nobodies, man. You got to give some respect to the way that they play. We saw that yesterday against Argentina, and now today we're seeing it with Brazil. Now, hopefully, Brazil just take them as seriously as they would on the regular, because I think there's no possible way for them to just let this go into 2-0, right?
Should be, right? Supposedly, you know. Again, let's see. I really don't like the drafts coming from Brazil game 1. So maybe if they adjust, we will see a different outcome. But hey, Bolivia, props to you guys, man. You know, the drafts was clean, the execution was cleaner, and man, you know, I just want to see more Mlbb action here. Bolivia, I think what they did was beautiful. You know, Galilito being on a carry, very short range, but I think for during fights he was just free hitting. Why? Because a lot of the resources were spent on other heroes, and I think Bolivia, they understand how to execute that draft, and yeah, they definitely deserve that win.
They definitely do deserve their win. It was a much more front and center, right? In terms of draft, they were able to pivot for the late game as well. They had a lot of crowd control. That's something that you want to work on. You definitely need that crowd control as well, playmaking abilities. Just Brazil just lacked it overall. Like, they were just relying on individual prowess, individual skill. to try and get them out. But then again, speaking of individual skill, oof, Nico was on fire on that Lancelot, right?
Yeah, I mean the first pick value, right? They went in, first pick the Lancelot. It seems like the value was returned. Nico again, very capable, very reliable. That steal as well, I think that really was the first momentum shift for Bolivia, where Nico got the turtle and they were able to force a fight. So let's see, will it happen again for Nico? Being cheeky with the retributions, or perhaps now with Brazil being on blue, perhaps they themselves want the Lancelot.
Yeah, I think they definitely themselves might want it. But then again, is it gonna be left out by Bolivia, right? Is it gonna be left out by? Oh wait, never mind. Brazil themselves take it out. It's the first pick that they don't want. They don't want. Just take away the Yisun, take away the Lancelot. Probably what they're gonna take away the Baxi as well.
Baksha, I think definitely a hero that, yeah, there you go. It's so prio now. I think it's very strong. It's not just quite strong, but it's very strong, very flexible as well. It seems like Brazil, they do not want to deal with an Arlet as well. So are they going for a Zushin first pick here? Are they going for a Phoveus first pick for Brazil? Setting up tempo, not really showing their cards, or perhaps they don't care. They're confident enough in Bolivia. It's saying, okay, you banned the Arlet, let's ban out the Zushin. Brazil, first pick on hot seat. What are you going for?
To me, fun is all that matters.
Over.
Why?
Call it. It's over. They're calling it. The game's
Mr.
over.
Mr. Armand, man. With all due respect, last time you say it is all over for that first pick, it happened yesterday after that Angela first pick, and it lost. So is this just it's over for Bolivia or over for Brazil? You got to clarify here.
It's over for Bolivia, man. It's over for Bolivia. I mean, Angela's a different story, right? I mean, yes, we kind of overestimated the Angela, but here with the 1-1 on in the hands of Upatizi, yeah, it's calling it game. This is game. This is game set match right here. We're going to a BO3, folks.
Okay, fair enough. It seems like for the first phase, at least, it's quite quick. Bolivia, they respond with a Phoveus Farsa, and Brazil, it's actually quite quick, relatively quick. Kalea and the Fred. Now, this is a very scary looking draft from the side of Brazil.
Yeah, it definitely is looking a bit more scarier compared to game number 1. Look at that. They have a single target lockdown. They have a lot of crowd control with the Fredrin in the jungle. They definitely have 1v5 and a lot of damage coming in from that 1-1. But on the other side as well, the Farsa, the Phoveus, the Badang, again, a double bruiser combo on their side. They really like this Farsa with the extended range. And again, taking away a lot of early game prowess. We know Yuji Frostlave loves the Selena, so they're taking that out, the Hayabusa, to make sure the 1-1 has a good time in the laning phase. Again, in the jungle, no surprises coming through as well. So I feel like now Brazil are starting to take it a little more seriously.
There you go. Let's say, I mean, they got the Prio hero, right? The 1-1, and technically, it's a great combination with the Kalea. It's not really instant kill, but at least it might trigger that crossbow attack if the Kalea sets it up right. So it's going to be the last man here from side of Bolivia. It is going to be the glue. So they understand that, hey, with the glue, it's going to be annoying for the Phoveus and potentially the jungler later on. Okay, quick jungler bans here from side of Brazil. No to Haya, no to Joy. They want to make this 1-1 safe as just safe, because those two heroes can definitely be a threat.
Definitely, indeed. And I think along with that, there's glue being taken out, right? Along with the Joy, the Hayabusa, there's glue. I'm not sure. I mean, they couldn't have picked it up for themselves just because the Badang was picked up, but the glue would have been so good for Bolivia themselves, right? Just be a complete problem to this Fredrin. And then against the 1-1 as well. But then here, the Granger being picked up. I think a lot of poke going to be coming through, of course, with those Death Sonatas. So this Frederick's going to have a slight bit of a difficult time trying to get into these team fights. Again, another target for the Kalea to pounce upon. But again, Brazil need to find those magic damage dealers to get some burst. Let's see what they're going to go with.
Let's see. I think also, keep note, right? Winter Crowns is going to be a very expensive item here for Side of Bolivia. If the Badang and the Phobias can take that early, I think it can ruin the momentum of the 1-1. So let's see, will it be prioritized from the side of Bolivia? Brazil, though, they add themselves another hero that can disrupt the formation. That is the Lapu Lapu. Has immune, has stun, very durable. And it's going to be annoying, you know. Zetian, the global ult, the stun, the passive, you know, you can't with the Phobias, with the Badang. If it's not triggered, the Zetian is technically safe. So you gotta keep in mind it's a very, very tricky approach from side of Bolivia if they really want to commit and engage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the Zetian pickup. I'm liking the Lapu Lapu, in fact. Like, the Lapu Lapu definitely works. You have another diving hero when the Farsa has the Feather Airstrike. The Zetian, though, I'm not really... I mean, we're trying to find positives there, right? But the Nakai, that's a surprise.
That is right. Again, this Akai, it's somehow a gamble. If you're fed, if you farm is good, yes, it definitely can guarantee you a neutral objectives. But before level 4, you're a sitting duck technically, and with the pokes, like potential from side of Brazil, the Akai needs to make sure that his pathing and his farm is a-okay, especially before the first turtle. So let's hope for the best for both of the teams, right? Brazil looks to equalize here in this series. Bolivia, they want to clean sweep the quote-unquote favorites, right, in this match. Let's see, Bolivia, will they be able to do so or not?
Yeah, I think definitely Bolivia looking to try and take it into a 2-0 against the big giants, the powerhouse Brazil. But however, they are looking for the comeback, folks, as we go into game number 2 in match number 1 of the day. It is, of course, Brazil on the blue side this time, going against Bolivia, who are already 1-0 up, looking to close down the game in a 2-0 fashion. Or will there be a comeback, and will Brazil take us to game number 3? Chrono Sengani to bring you the action.
Let's get it, boys. Let's get it, girls. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Line of Dawn action. It will be a different approach here. Xion taking the purple. Meanwhile, the Akai, Nico, will focus on red. Seems like with the rotation, it will be a 3v3, 2v3 rather. But that's going to be Nico actually taking the lead, though. So that's an advantage already. Slight advantage for the side of Bolivia. That's going to be the stun. That's going to be... Oh, Kozlo forced to use the flicker early again.
Yeah, I think Coleslaw. Coleslaw. I'm gonna call him. I'm calling Coleslaw. Kozlo. That's like coleslaw. Like, wait.
Coleslaw,
No, that's what you get when you mix mayo and cabbage. But then that's not coleslaw. That's Kozlo. But here, Kozlo already trying to do some damage.
Seems like he will recall, though. So it's a very slow tempo. You know, if we take a look at game 1, it was an early first blood, a trade rather, 1-1. What, before the first minute? No, before the second minute. It seems like this time around it won't happen.
Not yet happening for them so far. It's a slow-paced game, but here feels like a fight is brewing around the turtle pit. Actually has already started.
Yeah, a lot of action. Bravest Fighter also already invested here by Black. Taking their time, though. Xion now is waiting for his team to really have a tidy formation. That's John Storm trying to be a nuisance. Nico jumps in. That's a great cancellation from Kozlaw. That's going to be the heavy spin, though, locking Black down. No real follow-up just yet. That's going to be the Feather Airstrike, though, locking him down. First blood for Bolivia. That's going to be Sean trying to disengage along the rest of the team, but Bolivia did not manage to close the gap. They will lose out on the turtle, but they will get a kill.
Again, right? It's Yuji's position. That mid lane kind of left wide open. Hey, oh my God! Did Upatizi just give up the gold cannon for the gold crab? I'm not sure if that was the wisest of ideas, or am I tripping, Gani? Did I just see that?
A slight miscalculation. Oh, that's a feather airstrike though. That's a taunt to cancel that feather airstrike. Sean, very strong. Oh, the Appraiser's Wrath almost connecting there. But WL has to pick a Tsunami Slam from Kozlaw. No real follow-up, so perhaps just to escape there.
Not just that, right? Not just that. Along with everything else, the flicker and then the recall. It was a slight bit of recall from WL, just showing like, hey, you thought you had me, but you did not. Oh,
but easy stunned up, locked down under the turret, and Granger doesn't really connect the shots there. That's gonna be Upatizi surviving and will clear another wave. A little too close for comfort there.
Yeah, a little too close for comfort, and I think it was very close as well. Yuji is able to use the Fury of the Phoenix at the right time to try and get that stun right under the turret, saving Upatizi's life. But here you can see Xion and Kozlo trying to get one.
Galvito is able to keep his distance. K-Boom here in the front. Oh, Upatizi try to juke the feather airstrike, but with the heavy spin, locking him down. Upatizi will not be able to move. That's a kill, an important one as well, as Bolivia will shift their focus towards a second neutral objective in the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Xion as well as Kozlo were on the same page, but here Black looks like he wants to get something started.
Great taunt, great knock-up as well. That's going to be the turtle. Who will get it will be Nico again. That's going to be Nico now, being the sandbag feather airstrike from the back. Xion, though, will find a kill before losing his life. Kozlaw will be going down as well. That's going to be Galilito joining the fight. Upa, very low. John Storm finds the connection. My goodness, stop this guy as Yuji falls as well. 4 bodies from the side of Brazil and Bolivia. They are looking to take down the mid turret.
Man, Phobius to be played like that should be illegal. The way he just jumped in with those, he's just following them the entire time. I think he was bonk for bonk, and then he finds another bonk, and then all of a sudden he flickers forward, finds another bonk, and Yuji had to go down as well. So he has been aggressive from the get-go.
Definitely. And even from here, right? Oh, the Fury of the Phoenix was not enough. The bonks you mentioned. John Storm finds a 3-man dark
bonk.
wave as well.
Bonk.
Oh, it's nasty.
Again, bonk. One more. Bonk.
Boom.
And then there he goes. That's a triple in his hands, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But meanwhile, on the bot side.
Oh, Tsunami Slams. That's this crossbow. A Tang pop there under the turret. Heavy spin, though, will lock Upatizi down. Will it be enough? It will. WL securing that kill in the back. Galilito vulnerable and will be turreted. Both goal laners going down. But take a look at Sean isolated here in the front. Yuji trying to provide cover. Appraiser's Wrath. Not enough damage to take Nico down. But that's going to be Bolivia saying enough. Let's go back. Let's disengage. And that will be all.
That definitely was all for them on that side, but I think still HP's traded, spells traded, ultimates, and speaking of ultimate, Black wants to go for the bravest fighter.
Before the turtle, that is going to be a very expensive resource. Skypiercer, though, is already in the hands of Galilito.
Yeah, I think here John Storm, man, but he hits the dark wave, catches too, and he's so aggressive.
Very. And take a look at Sean. Not able to move practically. Will shift towards the turtle side though. Conceal from Kozlo. That's going to be Upa. In trouble. That's going to be Upa looking for the clear. Feather airstrike in the bush. John Storm trying to provide cover. That's the taunt. WL. No wings by wings. He will be shut down. That's going to be Upatizi coming from the flanks. Free hitting. Yuji will secure that kill. Brazil fought back here in minute 7.
Yeah, they found an opening, right? They found an opening and made sure to bide their time. Calculated moves in those team fights. That's what experience brings you, folks, and that's what they did. Meanwhile, here in the mid lane, trying to siege at it.
Oh, what? K-Boom, a little bit too aggressive there, and will be taken down. Another win, another dub for the Brazilians.
Another dub indeed, but then they were looking to take down that mid-tier 1. K-Boom, yes, he went down, but used the fist crack to try and clear the lane, which he did, which made a big difference. And here, Feather Airstrike connecting to Black.
Oh, Black even forced to use his own flicker here. So that's an expensive one. Let's see if Fear of the Phoenix popped. Structure taken down. And top, it's actually quite free. Will Fredrin show, though? Seems like the orange buff will be stolen. And oh, they will. Because Fredrin shows top, they are looking for a fight, but quick disengage from Brazil.
Like this indeed, they don't want to give away the momentum that they have in their favor. Even a slight bit of a goal lead, right? The tempo is on their side. I think Bolivia are just trying to bounce back, trying to get control over the river. But Kozlo here, he has been doing a wonderful job on this Kalea, trying to create that separation. Nico on the top side has to respond for the waves, and you can see Brazil, they're looking for a fight, understanding it'll be a 5v4.
Let's say Black very low, looking for the destruction. Para si Ryupa with the crossbow Tang. Looking for a kill. Not enough to really be a threat this time, but they will take John Storm down.
Yeah, and I think so far, John Storm, he has been the aggressor, right? He understands that Infernal Pursuit was going to be absolutely nasty every time he tries to go in. Yes, it was strong earlier when Upatizi didn't really have the damage, and every time he dashes around, you know, you proc it once more in a possible way where if he dashes around as well, you try to get the cooldowns a little quicker. But then again, John Storm, you got to realize, man, Upatizi has been racking up on those items, and once he has his core items, the Corrosion Sight, the DHS, maybe even the Wind of Nature, or even if they go for the Malefic Gun, he's going to be super hard to kill. And that is what Brazil are relying on right now. And they're looking to siege at the mid lane tier 1 once more.
They will get the clear this time. I mean, for now. But let's see for how long. It's still going to be a 5v5 here in around the rivers. Waiting for the right timing. Fury of the Phoenix is in hand of Yuji. Perhaps waiting for the right timing as well. Black though. Well, there you go. The connection. The stun. K-Boom will not survive. That's going to be the stun by John Storm trying to hold on. But take a look at the damage that is able to be provided by Upa, who will collect the double. Take a look at the crossbow. A Tang. It will be enough to be a threat this time. Nico, good night. That's a triple. Kalea will not be able to stay around this time, but that's going to be a 4-for-1, a free Lord for Brazil.
Yeah, I think free Lord, yes, the Kozlo's the one casualty that they had to pay a price for, but that was the price for Upatizi to get himself that triple, and now he's scaled up 5-3-3 on a 1-1. We're talking about 11 minutes into the game. It is looking strong, and especially knowing that John Storm is someone that keeps going quite deep into enemy territory along with K-Boom, you know, and you have Nico as well, all able to give those procs to try and get that crossbow of Tang unlocked. But then again, after that, it's just a waiting game. Once they're low enough, just pop it open, and next thing you know, with the Inspire, you're able to carry it on to the next. And then you're going to just wreak havoc for Bolivia to deal with. And having one hit from the sky, well, there are many trying to lock you down with a crowd control. With Black being as aggressive as he can, 4-1-7, you can call him the hidden piece that they were looking for. Kozlo the conceal, looking for an opening.
That's the Tsunami Slam. Good night, John Storm. Seems like they know the formula. Heavy Spin, though, will lock Black down. That's going to be the EXP trade. Let's say, oh my goodness, the Fredrin will be isolated there with the Heavy Spin earlier. And that will be a 2-for-1. The Lord is still in the top side of the base. But Brazil, they are a man down.
Yeah, and I think a little too aggressive, right? A little too early from Brazil as well. The shot call, yes, it was good. It was right. Just not the right time. Should have waited for the Lord to try and get in a little deeper, a little further. for them to get that extra body, that extra bit of added pressure that they can, and then it would have been a really good play. But Bolivia, knowing that they had time to deal with the Lord, capitalize in the moment, and then again, Bolivia find themselves a couple more minutes, more minutes of breathing room, but here doesn't look like it.
That's a winner crown active from K-Boom. Flicker's out of danger. That's info though. You know, that's valuable info. Upa will take the orange buff as well. And that will still be Brazil keeping the momentum, keeping the tempo. And take a look at the gold here. Technically, it's just 3K almost, right? So it's not looking too bad if Bolivia finds a great fight just once. The economy will definitely shift to their favor.
They definitely need that economy as well. They need to find a way to rack up those items. Yes, it's not that far behind Bolivia. 3K is not much. Usually you're looking at a 5K,
Yeah.
margin where the game kind of slips away from your hands, and they're trying not to let it get to that point, and they're doing so well at the same time. They're able to find the openings. Bolivia just need Galito to try and get those Sky Piercer stacks up as well. He hasn't got a single kill on a Granger, and you're talking about 14 minutes into the game. Without a single stack, he doesn't look like he's going well.
Oh no, that's Purify, that's Fear of the Phoenix as well. John Storm trying to hold on for dear life. Flicker's out of danger, but with the Feather Airstrike, it will help them buy time. Again, now with the Lord up, both teams now got to be more careful.
More careful. I think Bolivia got to be a little extra careful. No Flicker from John Storm, no Pure from Galito. Easy targets for Kozlo right now. He is going to be looking at picking them up. It's like a fruit that is ripe, a cherry that's ripe for the picking, because Kozlo is just waiting for that Tsunami Slam. 15 seconds in, he's going to have the Flicker with that title strike. But here, heavy spin.
That's a heavy spin on towards one. Not enough damage. There you go. John Storm finds it in the back. It's going to be two members now. Dark Wave. Oh my goodness. Crossbow attack by Upa. K-Boom goes down. That's going to be the immortality popped for Kozlo. Oh, John Storm. Good night, baby. Upa collects the double. No jungler, though, for Brazil. So, Bolivia, will they delay or will they let go of the Lord? Seems like Upa does not care. No jungler, no problem. There's Upa TZ on the Lord.
Oh, heavy spin. He might try and get it. No, he doesn't, but seems like he has to concede that Lord Feathered Airstrike to zone them away as well. Upatizi locking that Lord down and trying to get it without the help of the jungler. I think Nico probably could have stayed there. Chose to go back to the base crystal, try to get HP back up. By then, it was a little too late. Black has done a fabulous job to try and zone out WL and Galito. And again, no kill on this Granger is really hurting the chances of Bolivia, because without those Sky Piercer stacks, Xion is able to walk quite freely right in front of them, even after getting poked down quite a lot. So it's looking good, but at the same time, it is not. Now the goal lead is 5K in the hands of Brazil. The Lord on the top side marching in. They have another wave on the bot side as well, so they're trying to get them to split across the map. The mid lane tier 2 is still standing tall, but I think that is the plan for Brazil, to try and take something down, at least an inhibitor, and find an end angle, or give Upatizi what he's looking for.
Let's see, will they be able to find that connection? Lord charges, top lane, very vulnerable. Will be taken down. Oh, Tsunami Slam on towards one. That's going to be, actually Black. Who fell first? That's going to be a 5v4. Almost connecting. Oh, Sean. Great engage as Upa finds the godlike crossbow attack from Upa. Will this seal the deal? As Bolivia only stands with 3. They will be able to collect and clear the wave in top. But it seems like the structure in the mid is looking quite vulnerable here. And let's see, Brazil, what's the call here? It seems like they will siege it. Galito trying to provide damage, trying to clear as well. That's a Fear of the Phoenix trying to slow down tempo, and that will be the structure in the mid lane going down. Number 3 and the last inhibitor here, quite vulnerable as well. And ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 3 inhibitors taken down. Bolivia still survives and has a chance to fight another day, but Brazil, they got all prios to their side.
Man, that crossbow of Tang definitely showing up, being the difference maker in every single fight. And you can see as well, although Patizi has been doing well, 72.3k damage. Del Galito has not many kills. I'm not really sure even if he got one in that fight. But again, 80.8k damage. He's got one kill. Not really working out for him the entire time. But of course, on the top of the damage charge, Yuji with this Wu Zetian is able to do so much in the entire game. And of course, goal lead though between the two goal laners on par. So yes, the items are there, but in terms of power spike without the stacks and the Sky Piercer, again, cannot say this enough. Sound like a broken record, I do. But Galito on this Granger definitely needs those stacks. And maybe one
Yeah.
fight, if he gets himself a double, is just going to turn and flip the script entirely. It is an Evolve Lord that they're fighting for 18 minutes, 30 seconds out of the game. And they're looking for an angle to try and pick a fight. John Storm and K-Boom, they have their flickers. And so does Kozlo. But on the bot side, they might be looking for something here.
Let's see, will they be able to find the back door? UG is quite close to that area, and Bolivians are pushing to their favor. Now with the show, let's see, wings by wings from the far side, looking for the end. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the base. It will be Bolivia failing to defend, and Brazil, they have equalized here in this best of three. It's 1-1.
Hey man, you don't need Grand Theft No Turtle, Grand Theft No Purple, Grand Theft No Lord. You just want the base crystal. That's what the game's all about indeed. Finally, game number 2, they come out on top. Brazil off of a backdoor. They just say, you know what? Let's just end it. No, we know we're not going to win a fight. These guys are not going to go down without one. So who needs that? Let's just go get ourselves the crystal on the bot side. Sneaky indeed. With the way that they were lurking around, their movements just 2 steps front, pause. It just felt like a game of red light, green light. And guess what? They definitely got the green light. All right. They went and took the base crystal. But then again, the rest of the game was all about these team fights, one after another. Yes, Bolivia were coming out on top, and John Storm, he kept going in with those bonks, triple kill in the early game, in the mid game as well. Brazil able to turn it around, found an opening, a calculated team fight like this one where they went back and forth. And again, Upatizi trying to be the difference maker, able to free hit in the entirety of the game, able to flip the script against Bolivia. But after that, it was just brawl after brawl, crossbow of Tang after crossbow of Tang. And then it was just John Storm trying to make the difference for Bolivia. But after a while, it just became so that Brazil just couldn't get that angle to try and get them all down. They were looking for a wipeout. This is where Upatizi started popping off. But here, it was match where Bolivia were able to defend themselves from that first Lord. Brazil had the chance to try and end the game. Went for an early push. Went for a wrong call a little early in the game. If they waited, it could have been the end. But Bolivia found themselves the opening. Stayed in this team fight, stayed in this match a little longer. But of course, in the end, Brazil able to find that back door.
Man, it was beautiful, you know, with Kozlo and Upa already just in that lane. Yeah, they were getting creative. Take a look at Upa just destroying the base there. But hey, you know what? Arman, you called it. You know, when Upa or when Brazil locked in the 1-1, you call it. It is all over. You know, and it seems like Brazil, their drafts at least, it's comfortable for them. Not the Uranus jungler that we saw earlier in game 1. It seems like they adjusted. They got the 1-1. It's a strong pick and Upa very much capable in locking the 1-1 out. And yeah, it's Brazil 1-1.
Hey, I told you, sir. You don't give Upatizi that 1-1. And the way that he played it, almost to perfection, right? Yes, he was able to find the angles, find the opening, but hey, I mean, he's getting the kills in these team fights. He's able to make the difference. But every time there's a fight, they really have to fight tooth and nail to try and take something back. So he just said, you know what, like, guys, you bait the Lord, we'll take the base. That's the game plan. As simple as that. And well, guess what? 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 of them took down the base.
Man, Arman, it's fun. It's fun, man. It's again, it's 1-to-1. You know, Brazil, they not just adjusted. It's longer if you compare it to game 1, but hey, it's still a strong finish. You know, they managed to do their, I guess, win cons, right? They know that, hey, we late game, it's all upa. So let's just chill in the early. If we get the early, it's good. But man, Arman, I'm excited for game 3.
I am indeed, Albert. I'm trying to tell you the way that it went down for game number 1 and 2. It is a 1-1 indeed, and we called it. It could go all the way. And we will find out who's going to come out on top in this best of 3 after a short break, folks. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We're going to be back for game number 3. Brazil, Bolivia. It's going to be.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1-to-1 between Bolivia and Brazil. Welcome back to Iesf here. Latin America qualifiers, American qualifiers here. It's Albert, and I'm not alone. I'm back with Rahman.
Yes, sir. We are back indeed. You know what? The way that we've known the entire time, he's known as Gani. I'm known as Kronos most of the time, but then it's nice to use some of our first names, especially when you can look at it on the screen. So, hey, while you're at it, if you're new, you haven't seen our faces, we got our socials, man. Albert,
yes,
Serafin, G_Kronos. Go and give that follow, hit that subscribe, hit that like, you know. Helps us out a little bit. But of course, what helps us out as well is if there is an action-packed, passion-filled game of Mlbb, because that's what we love. Avid Mlbb lovers we are. So in this World Esports Iesf qualifiers for the American region, of course, we're talking about North and South Americas. Right now, we're at the South America part. So yeah, it is reached that point where the teams that are representing their countries 1-1 in a best of 3. And I think Brazil versus Bolivia, some of the top dogs. Bolivia, I feel like, is slept upon, man. I agree. Seriously believing this region is being slept on right now.
Man, I think they're the definition of an underdog team or country. And I think if they are able to inspire a lot of people in their own country, I think Bolivia will, or at least the scene of Mlbb there definitely will grow. And let's hope for the best, man. I think Bolivia, they showed a strong performance yesterday. Will they be able to close out their strong performance today? It will be game 3, folks, here, drafting phase for Bolivia. It will be blue side Bolivia now, so got to keep an eye out for that pick. You know, 1-1 earlier, was able to find the equalizer and make it a 1-1 series. So let's see, will the 1-1
see value in me
here?
You should.
Will be Fovius and Fred from the side of Bolivia. Brazil, seems like they adjusted. Game 1, they let go of that Lancelot. This time around,
they call me a hero.
You will
save my nation from falling
pass.
apart.
Thou shall not pass. You shall not pass. Because that's what it is. And that's what Brazil want to do. Knocking away those double junglers. And I know this is going to be Abaxias coming out as well. So that's 3 junglers on the side of Brazil. And of course for Bolivia, taking away what would hurt them. That Fredrin, that Juan, and of course that Fovius, that could be lethal given in the right hands. So here, I mean, come on, Albert. We know it's going to be Abaxia, right?
Exactly.
It's not going to go away.
I was about to say, the Baksha will not be banned this time around here, Rahman, and it will be the Arlet. So, Brazil, you know, yeah, they're letting it go. Surely they know, surely they know that the scenario would likely to happen. So I'm expecting them to have counter drafts here for that Baksha.
Do I call it again? Like, just it's over?
Are you gonna do it? Oh
no. I mean, there are ways to work around the box here, right? I was gonna say the CC is a good example. You're a tank shredder, so it definitely would work out in their favor as well. But then again, this box here, it is one of those heroes that is flexible wherever you want to slot it. So we're still looking to see where it goes. Personally, I prefer Boxia in the jungle. Yes, you can help in the roam position, try and get your jungler's HP back up a little quicker, trying to get in the jungle farm a little quicker as well. You can do a lot in and around the map, but it's not going to be the best play here. They're not hiding any cards. They just say, we want Joy. We're going to dive to the back line because that's the next best jungler that's left in the Land of Dawn, apart from a Hayabusa. So now you're really forcing Brazil to pick up a Hayabusa here, or you're going to ban it out in the next phase, and even taking the Angela as well. That's a lot of sustain that's there on the side of Bolivia.
That's the thing. That's the thing here. So this is very tricky. So Angela mid or Baxia EXP? All right, it's still a possibility.
Flex.
It's the flexible part there, but yeah, Joy will be the jungler position here. Why are they showing their cards early? That's my question. Does Brazil know that, you know, Nico is not really a Baxia player? That's why maybe they don't mind showing their cards early. But it seems like Brazil, they focus on themselves as well here, picking up a Harith, which is very good, a hero that is okay in the lane, and what, after getting 2 items, is able to join in on the fights and doesn't really mind hitting, you know, when Bolivia wants to close the gap. Harith doesn't really mind because Shaman Force is actually short range as well. So yeah, Brazil here, very good response. Let's go and focus to the second phase.
You know what? Hear me out. What if Baxia jungle, Angela roam, Joy mid lane? Am I burning the dish, or is it? Am I cooking too hard?
I mean, seeing their draft, it's again, it's a possibility. You know, a Joy mid. Wow.
Nah, I'm burning the dish, aren't I? I think I'm overboiling it.
Bro, I thought Esmeralda jungler as well, but it was Uranus. So, you know, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Nah, man, I'm telling you, I'm probably overboiling the noodles in the Indomie this time. But for sure with that one. But I think the Uranus being banned out, the Kalea being taken off. Again, they locked down the Harith. I'm not sure if that's the brightest of ideas. Against the Baxia, you're not going to have a lot of space. You're going to be really locked down as well. So, and they still have the option of going for the Esmeralda and the EXP lane for Bolivia, right? The option is still present. Yes, you're not going to do really well against the CC, but just you have the Angela to give that support. You have the Baxia as well to provide the space. No anti-heal coming in from from the opposition side immediately. I mean, Bolivia, I feel like this has got to be a Hayabusa as well. So again, draft-wise, I feel like Bolivia are slightly getting the upper hand.
I understand that, but I don't know. I dislike the Joy a bit here. Maybe call me skeptical, but yeah, what's with the Joy second pick? You know, you can just pick other heroes. But let's see. You know, Bolivia again, prove me wrong. They're going to focus on the roamer position though in that second phasing of the bans rather. It's going to be Kalea and the Grok here. They do not want a hero that can disrupt the mobility of the Shield Unity and the Joy as well. So, yeah, great response here. Brazil first pick. I'm guessing they are going for a roam here, right? I think they should just hide their jungler last. You know, the Hayabusa is cleared. So, yeah,
it's very clear.
It's clear, right? So... okay,
yeah.
They don't mind showing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that it's going to be the Hayabusa, right? So I think might as well pick it up now and then wait till the end to see what you can go and give a little bit more room to work around with in the roam position. Yes,
sure.
But also at the same time, maybe, you know, they're not trying to give Bolivia the Hayabusa so it can be, you know, Baxia EXP and roam Joy mid, and I was in the jungle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, this is too much. This is too much.
Hey,
I'm just burning the whole thing, man.
we're having fun here, folks. It's the double A combo. Albert and Arman. But
Yo,
yeah,
let's go.
Bolivia.
Double A
last
with
two
the
picks.
GK.
Double A with the GK, baby. Oh, Minsitar.
Oh no.
That's a Minsitar.
This is gonna be lit. This is lit. This is lit.
What
The King's Calling is gonna be absolutely lit this entire time with the Furious Dive combo coming in, man.
no.
Petrifies all across this Hayabusa along with the Herod. You're not gonna be allowed to play the game. I love Bolivia. The pocket picks coming in are absolutely insane. Talk about total entertainment this has been.
Oh my goodness. Imagine, right? With the Shadow, the King's Calling, and yeah, the Hayabusa will not be able to go back to a Shadow. And it seems like Brazil, hey, you know, a lot of potential dives with the Minsitar, with the Joy, with the Baksha, and the Yuzong. So great response with the Tig pick. I like it. It brings stability and durability, a lot of crowd control as well, which technically before the Tig pick, they're quite lacking. So yeah, great pick for Brazil.
Yeah, great pick indeed, and I think it's going to be... yes, it's reliable, it's quite solid, and I think that will be the slight bit of a difference maker they're looking for with the implosion in these team fights, right? Once they're really like slowed down and the King's calling from Galito, this pocket pick, man, I'm excited. I am super excited to get into this one because I want to see how is he going to really utilize this Minstar, right? Because either you're absolutely crazy with it or it's just completely in the mud. And we're going to find out, of course. Game number 3, folks. We are in the best of 3 going all the way. Bolivia on the blue side, Brazil on the red. The GK AA combo, Kronos and Gani bringing you the action for this one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's witness and enjoy for our final game of the series. But hey, earlier, I asked you about the cheese pigs. You know, you definitely did not expect the Minsitar to come through in our first series, man.
Definitely not the Minsitar. This has been an exciting one. You can see WL already hitting level 2. Xian steals the orange buff!
Oh no! Great read. No quad shadow though. And with the flicker, WL with the heartstring as well. WL seals the first blood. Oh, was that worth it now?
I mean, if you think about it, right, it just might have been. Just because of the fact that you get... Oh, no, Bloom! Oh.
Nasty crowd control there. Arman with the knock up, and then the Tig just brings K-Boom to the turret. But yeah.
Not looking good for their side this time. Bolivia, I think so far, I mean, we're expecting Galito to really win out this lane hard, right? At least once he reaches the level 4 point. But until then, Opatizi should be winning. But still, he is doing quite well. Hasn't used the flicker yet. WL getting aggressive, taking down Xian. Yes, Xian got the invade. Was it worth it? I mean, you can tell here, Gani, because we're into the turtle already. He's level 4 while Nico hasn't hit it yet.
Yeah, this is not good here. Nico finally gets 4. Will jump in with the beats, trying to find the connection. Retribution for Nico. That's gonna be the first turtle for the side of Bolivia, and it seems like now Sean is able to get out, but K-Boom will not survive. That's a kill for a turtle.
Was it worth it again? It's a 1-for-1 trade just when the Black Dragon had arrived. Felt like Brazil just wanted to disperse, and they got the kill in return. Again, K-Boom is the only one that's fallen twice, but here on the top side, John Storm has the hard guard.
Ooh, great implosion there. That will be John Storm eliminated. Even with the hard guard, the Yuzong wasn't able to survive. In the bottom side, though, a possible gang. Sean already invested the quad shadow just to take the gold crab. In the top, it's action 3v1 rather. I thought it was a 2v1. But hey, in the bottom side again, it's Sean with the shadow kill, but that's going to be K-Boom securing it. Opatizi, not enough damage just yet here to be a threat. That will be the jungler going down towards the second time.
I mean, okay, brass tacks, right? Let's take a look at what the stats are showing. 3 kills on the side of Brazil, goal lead on the side of Brazil, right? It's looking good for Brazil, but look where the kills are. Half the kills, or more than half the kills at this point, are in the hands of the roamer, Coslow, which really isn't a good sight. And
Yeah.
the 2 times that the kills that they have on the side of Bolivia, both have come from the jungler of Brazil, which is Xion. So he's not really doing a lot. And for a Hayabusa to die twice before 5 or 6 minutes into the game, that means you're really hindering his power spike. So you're not letting him get unlocked yet. So Brazil are kind of shooting themselves in the foot by trying to play aggressive, but they're countering their own lineup.
Good point. Good point. K-Boom, though, will be knocked up, brought back to the team here. Oh, Sean, very low. Still able to get out this time, but Nico looks for an opening. Great implosion! That's the king calling. King's calling, though. That's going to be Kosovo stuck and isolated, taken down. Oh, great connection towards Black. Hoopa with the shaman forwards here is able to juke the damage. That should be a turtle unless Sean has a say. Let's see. Retry this time. It will be another steal, but this time Sean finds it. John Storm, very low, will be taken down. Whoopa finds the connection. It's so brawly here, third game. 5 minutes in, we're at a total of almost double-digit kills.
Yeah, we're almost at that 10 kill mark coming in from both teams. But here, Nico, hard guard.
Oh, but TZ falling first, not a good sign. Black, very low. That's going to be the double.
Oh, double.
From Nico, almost claiming his triple kill. But man, Bolivia
Boom.
showing up strong here. Kozlo will be able to keep his distance for now. Top is just a 1v1, not even. So yeah, 5 minutes in, it's 11 kills. It's so brawly, this game.
Very. Feels like I'm watching a brawl. It's just that one mid lane is that river. That river has been a fighting warpath for both these teams. And so far, Bolivia winning on all fronts. Xion not able to get a single kill yet as a Hayabusa. I would be worried. It just feels like that game where, you know, Galito on the Granger wasn't able to get a single kill. This is where Xion is at right now as a Hayabusa. I play a Hayabusa as a lot as well, and I feel like this is really, again, to sound like a broken record, Brazil shooting themselves in the foot. It's not looking good for themselves. Black as well, 1-2-2 on the CC. Supposed to be a tank shredder. And I think this Mincetar in the goal lane has kind of thrown a wrench in their plans. It's got them a little flipped in their minds. And you can see Yuji trying to create some separation with the lantern as well. Just not working out. Yes, they're dominating the river. Yes, Kozlo is doing quite a lot in and around the map. But still not working out. But here, they might find something.
Hard guard. It's not enough. Sean finds the kill with the implosion. That's going to be WL also. Oh, my goodness. I thought WL goes down. Rupa TZ doesn't land the skills there. Oh, but TZ, take a look at the map. He will find the kill. WL goes down. 2 members off the board with the turtle up. And that should be the last and final turtle of this game. Brazil should have the green light to take it freely.
Not just that,
Oh,
but here
never
the
mind.
Black Dragon has arrived.
Oh no, with box shell. Sean finds a connection with the shadow there to find the retribution. Shaman Force popped. Take a look at the damage in the back. Nico jumping and free hitting. That's gonna be Upa going down alongside Sean. Take a look at the mobility that the Joy can give. 2 members deleted under the turret. K-Boom, you nasty boy, finds a kill as well. It will be traded, but the mid tier 1 is very vulnerable. Great pull by Galilito to break the momentum from that implosion. But John Storm falls regardless.
Man, I wish we could get a replay of that fight that took by in the turtle pit. Because, yes, Nico's in the back line wreaking havoc. Yes, John Storm unleashed the dragon. But look at Galilito the entire time as well. He was an absolute menace. But here in the mid lane, the tier 1, you could see Kozlo. He had the implosion, tried to do something, but Galilito again pulled him back with that spear. Just being an absolute nuisance. Again, in that turtle pit, in that fight where everything broke loose, the Zaman Force was dropped down, the curtain call was already used, they had the hard guard on top of them. It was just Galilito who came in. He had the flicker, he had the King's Calling, he hit that flicker combo with it, and then all of a sudden, they can't move for the next split second. They were caught off guard, and that was enough time to go for Nico to go and clean up shop, and John Storm to do what he does best. And of course, so far, Bolivia moving and looking like an absolute unit. Well, as Brazil, still not able to find the synergy that we would like to see. And yes, Kozlo doing a lot in and around the map, but then again, it's just not working out in their favor. 10 seconds to the Lord. They might just be looking for something in return.
Let's see. Kozlo has a flicker though, so keep an eye out for that. Perhaps you might see like a flicker King's Calling and a flicker implosion kind of set here with both Galetito and Kozlo having their spells. Let's see though. With this Lord, top is it's pushing towards Brazil. No, it's pushing for Bolivia. So Bolivia technically can take their time with the conceal here just to take more space. Seems like they're dancing the Lord for... Oh, never mind. With the King's Calling, Galetito finds the connection, pulling UG back as well. Now, Black pops the vengeance. Take a look at the back. Kozlo very low. Almost taken down. Will force to recall there. And that will be a sign. Hey, it's a 5v3 technically with the TIG and... No, it's not even 3-2 members only up in front. So that's going to be Bolivia taking the Lord.
Yeah, Bolivia again taking the Lord. Xi'an not having a good game. This Hayabusa, we saw it coming a mile away in the draft as well. That was the only possible jungler left open, and Bolivia didn't ban it out on the second phase for a reason. They know how to work around this Hayabusa. They know how to play against this lineup. But here right now, K-Boom gets a lot of damage on him.
Is this too ambitious here? That's going to be the knock-up. K-Boom quite low. Under the Shaman Force will be bursted down. Galetito pops the King's Calling. Kozlo is in that mix. Still able to survive for now. John Storm isolated. Furious Dive. Shadow Kill. Missed there, but that's going to be Sean. Taken down. That's Nico. Taking Black as well. That's going to be Lord. Taking the turret quite low here. Galetito will not be able to find the turret, but that's still a big win. That's a pull. Upa. Got to be careful. They will, though, defend their 3 inhibitors for now.
Man, I'm telling you, every time Galetito uses that spear, uses the King's Calling, I cannot help but laugh because I did not see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. I haven't seen that in the longest of times. And Brazil are just scratching their heads like, okay, how do we play against a Mincetar? Because usually you have your damage calculations. You have your, scrims. You know what the meta works. You know how to play around it. Yes, in a fun-filled rank game, you might just pick up the Mincetar, but here in a professional match in the Iesf stage that you're playing for the qualifiers in the Latin American region, all of a sudden you're looking at a Mincetar and you're just scratching your head like, okay, we did not prepare for this. Nobody saw this coming. And it's not just any Mincetar. He's going all out damage. He's got the Trinity along with a Malefic Roar. Yeah, whoever's in front of him, you're going to get melted. Not just melted, but you're going to get stunned down with that King's Shield. And then all of a sudden, you don't know what to do. And that has been the problem for Xi'an as well as Upatizi. In these team fights, they really need to have eyes at the back of their heads. Because Kozlo, yes, he's doing and creating a lot of space, peeling for the rest of the team. But so is K-Boom on the other side. So they're matching peel for peel. But then the CC and the unpredictability of this King's Calling with a flicker, not to mention the Spear of Glory just coming out of nowhere with a flicker, again, just taking them off guard. And it's not like a Franco Spear hook as well, right? It's not like a hook that you can, just stand in front of or stand behind a minion. This goes through. It will catch a hero.
Oh, the call is to go all in on towards K-Boom. I'm not sure if this is the right call. Take a look at the back. Nico dealing a lot of damage there on towards Sean, and he will be bursted down. King's Calling, locking 2 members down. Upa goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, with just the TIG remaining, this is not looking good, and will be a wipeout for Bolivia.
Yeah, and look at WL going into the base, spamming those recalls. You underestimated us, Brazil, but we come out with a dub indeed. You took one game away, but that was just a backdoor. It was something we shrug off. Bolivia able to get that victory 2-1. And oh my god, in a dominating fashion nonetheless. It wasn't just any game, was it, Albert? It wasn't like they got themselves there by luck. It was pure skill, this one, especially when they know they were able to play as aggressive as possible, and the game plan was what they planned out already. They had the script written. They were acting it out. They knew what the finish was. They just had to make sure that it was going down in the right order, and yes, it did indeed. Brazil got the kills in the early game, but then again, not in the right hands. So it was all still working out for Bolivia, as I mentioned before. And then fight after fight, just nobody could stop Nico, man. He was all over the place, a little too overwhelming, sensory overload for Brazil. And then all of a sudden, Bolivia, they let it slip for a split second, but again, it just had to bounce back just when Galatito started using that King's Call, and that's the flicker King's Call that I was talking about in that turtle pit, where it could have gone south for Bolivia. He comes in, and that pocket pick kind of saves the day.
Man, you know, I mentioned that I dislike the joy pick. Boy, Nico proved me wrong. Armand. And yeah, the mobility is so fast in Galatito. What I think the Mincetar pick was just brilliant. You know, the drafts was just great, but the execution was perfect, and well-deserved win from Bolivia.
Man, it's not just absolutely great, right? Entertaining. This is what we like to see. A good game of Mlbb, right? Again, that Flicker King's Calling catching two off guard. That was a final fight. It was a Flicker King's Calling, and then all of a sudden, two of them just rocked there in their place. And nonetheless, the two tank shredders, supposed to be the damage dealers, Black and Upatizi. After that, they just couldn't do anything. It was so dominating. It felt like Bolivia were dictating the pace of the game entirely. And then I think, we didn't like the Joy pick just because of the fact that it was a second pick, right? After Boxy was picked up. True. Reveal your cards a little too early. But if you know what you're going to do and you know how you're going to dismantle the opponent, it's like fixing a car. You know which parts go where. And that's what Bolivia did. And not just that, it felt like they were in a library, picked up the right book, and just read Brazil. Just like that.
Man, what a dominant showing from Bolivia. It was a great match, ladies and gentlemen. But Bolivia, what a run. Armand, yesterday they got it up to the 1, and now they were able to bring that momentum, same mindset, with variety, and they got the dub again in 2-1 fashion. Respect Bolivia, man. I don't think we can call them underdogs now. I think they are a contender in the American region. Wow.
Not just any contender. They've taken out giants. They took down Argentina. Now taking out Brazil. Exactly. Yeah, they're going around the map. They're going one by one. Who's next on the chopping block? We're going to find out, of course. But the way Bolivia played, man, it's not just the fact that they won. It was in a dominating fashion and entertaining for us as casters as well. Because, I mean, when was the last time you casted a Mincetar game, Gani? That was absolutely entertaining, wasn't it?
Very entertaining. It's so refreshing, right? Not your usual, you know. I'm not saying that it's boring, but you would know that, okay, after this it's gonna be this. The gameplay should be a template. But with the Mincetar pick, it's just so refreshing with the King's Calling and the Flicker. Man, that's the first series, by the way. We got another.
Yeah, that was the first series indeed. And for the next one, we got some more exciting action and maybe some pocket picks like this Mincetar. So we're going to be back after a short break, folks. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. It's been Albert, Gani, Seraphin, along with Armand Chronostapa. Follow our socials and make sure you stay tuned because the next one is going to be a banger.